mean, how do you get like any tips to get the new job? I think you got it pretty quick,
within
right?
2 weeks.
Yeah, within 2 weeks. So is there any way that you went, or any things that you can?
I get
share
a
with
lot of
others?
questions from my colleagues in the past.
That was pretty fast. 2 weeks is.
Yeah. I think, okay, I'm going to get canceled. I think people just don't put in enough effort into applying job. And I have facts to like cover
She
this.
brought receipts.
Yes. Like I have like sort of mentored like my siblings, my friends, and strangers online that approach me in terms of how to negotiate for salary, how to get a new job, and all these things. They apply 10 job application, LinkedIn easy apply, where you don't even have to put in your details and be like, yep, I did that. I received no form of answers. They don't follow up. They don't add any value in their application. I sent in my portfolios. I crafted a marketing strategy for companies where they don't even ask me to. I went through tedious case studies that takes weeks of research just to get rejected for 200 times because I made more than 1,000 applications within 2 weeks, got rejected for 200 times, and the rest was pretty positive response, and I went through the funnel.
So at the end you get to pick.
Yeah, at the end I do get to pick.
I kind of like this company.
Yes.
But how do you end up with the next company? What was the criteria that
I had no criteria.
said, pay me well, treat me well?
Exactly. I mean, when you're desperate, you kind of cling on to whatever you have. So it was a risk, and I think I was lucky there, to be honest. Yeah.
But I think since then, so you actually applied for another 9-to-5 job from then, and how do you come out of? So that was actually a good experience for you.
Yes.
You mentioned before, but you are now on your own. You're a founder. So where did that next step come in? What happened?
It was the company that I was in was I want to emphasize that it was the perfect job. I think if I were to work 9 to 5 for the rest of my life, I would definitely like be there for the next 10 years if I'm allowed to. I realized that even though it was the perfect job, I started to kind of dislike it. And it's not about the managers. It's just the fact that it's a job.
It's repetitive, right?
It's not only repetitive, it's that you have no power. You are literally
no control.
Yeah, you have no control. You're making someone else's dreams come true. You're making someone else's rich, someone else's business. And I realized that if I could do that, if I could contribute to someone else's success, why can't I do that for myself? I want to have a say of what time I want to wake up. I don't want to attend a meeting at 10 a.m. I want to have a say on when I can go to leave. I don't want to have to beg and ask and say someone died or something just to have a bereavement leave. Like that's crazy. It's just having control and freedom over my life, and that's what I want.
I want to do a podcast at 1 o'clock on a Monday, looking at the Twin Towers and,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the freedom that is usually that. But okay, one thing that actually we agree on a lot of things actually conceptually, but there's one thing we actually don't agree on, which is education. We agree that education is necessary, but the means to it is different.
Yes.
What I see is regarding degree, I think this is quite a heated topic also. For me, degree is, you need a degree, but it's not very important.
Okay.
Because don't confuse degree with education. That's very important. Degree is, for me, is like a passport. It gets you indoors, and that's it. All right. Why I went to university, why I got my degree is, one, I want that passport, that certificate, that piece of worthless paper. And two, the best part about university is actually the relationships you make and the networking you make there. All right, so when you come out to work, you want to know that there are people that you can ask for favors, you can call on, you can collaborate with. Most of the relationships are formed when you're studying. And that's my point of view. Natalie, on the other hand, has a very different point of view of how you should go about it.
Yes. So let's just scratch off all the obvious things that does need professional qualification, doctors, lawyers, all these things. To me, degree is just one means for education. And the bottom line is, what do you actually want? Like, what do you want? Not what your parents want, not what your extended family wants for you. My pain point in this is that a lot of my friends or a lot of my inner circles proceed to have like all of these degrees. It's because of their parents' generation's belief that this is the right path to life. But at the end of the day, there's no Bible or guideline to life. It's just how you live it. And if you're getting a degree for a ticket to a job, for me, that does not make any sense because a job can be earned through many ways. It could be through networking, which you said that you find going to university helps. I find LinkedIn does the same way to me.
Okay.
And I would add on that LinkedIn is better or online is better because I managed to make connections not only within Malaysia, but the world. And so a lot of these people that go and have a degree, it's because their parents told them so. And in our parents' generation, they have limited access to the pool of jobs. And my mom didn't even use a computer until she was like 30 years old.
Right.
So you can imagine how job applications back then was. It was through word of mouth. And, hey, my aunt has like a degree in this and she worked in this and that. But these days, it's about show your results. What can you bring of value towards the company?
Okay.
And yeah, that's how I see things.
But I would need to emphasize that both of us are now in a freelance/agency. We run our own business kind of.
Yeah.
But if you're in a 9 to 5, a lot of these corporates are still very traditional.
Yes.
They still require you to hand in your CV. They want to see what's your highest qualification, and they use that to filter out applicants. So definitely what you say works. Results, you show your results matter. But a lot of us, I would say, don't have the results at the start.
Okay.
So how do you, I think you also came from that part. How do you navigate that when you said you've done case studies and stuff?
Yeah. Personally, I've never had a company that asked me what sort of educational qualifications that I have. And even if they do, I would honestly say I'm a self-learner. And I would give all the credentials that I've done online, like Facebook, Meta Business Suite, studies and all those stuff, Google Analytics, courses that are available online that does the same thing for the job, right? Yeah, that's how I would like navigate it.
So I'll put it this way. It's not that the degree doesn't matter, but your credentials matter.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily you say, I have to graduate from where as a degree, but you got to show, hey, these are things that I have studied and people certify that I am capable in that.
Yes. More importantly is how you carry yourself. When companies hire people, hire talent, they look at like the risk, right, of hiring this talent, if this talent's going to perform or if it's just going to be 3 months probation money go down the drain. A degree kind of like helps you in terms of, hey, I have this theoretical knowledge. I may be able to do the job better than the next guy. But what if you come into the scene saying, hey, I have done this sort of practical things that you've done in the job, that you want in this job. I would go with the practical guy over the theoretical
Yeah, actually, that's true. I would do the same too. I think there's this one funny reel that I saw, which kind of is true, talking about degrees is, so degree is just a proof to the employer that you can stay at something for 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, maybe.
So everything else doesn't matter because they don't want to like, someone who comes in 6 months and then they leave, you got to train again. So it's like, 4 years you've done something, you stick through it, I'm going to hire you. But yeah, on the other note. So I don't think so there's a right or wrong to this. It's just where you are in your life, what you want with your life.
Exactly, yes.
And also, if you're comfortable and if you don't like discomfort, 9 to 5 is always there, that kind of thing, right?